Charlie Kirk and Tony Hinchcliffe, why are they so similar? And why are they not so similar? Right? That's the question. And this is part 2, by the way. I dropped the part 1 yesterday, so go check it out. Please go check it out. I watched the video like 3 times. It's a great video. It's a really good video. It's just people don't know who I am and stuff like that, so they don't watch it. Or maybe it's in the intro, it's just too long or something like that. It's not getting to the point. But in this video, we're getting to the point. So make sure you like that video, this video, because that is the point. And the first thing is what's so similar about them? And I talked about this in part 1, so go check it out. But what's so similar about them is that they both go out and debate, right? They have these shows out there to give people voices and stuff like that. And obviously they're going to disagree with each other on how good they are or what they think and all these things, right? And all their point of views. But what is different, right? What is different of this, right? Like, what's the differences of them two? And that is, Tony Hinchcliffe, he's comedy, right? And they get variety of different people and stuff like that. A little different than the debates. I think the debates are a little more cleaner. And that's the thing, though, is the comedy stuff is way different. It's way more extreme. It goes way out there to like celebrities and jokes, all these things, everything, man. A lot of things. And that's what comedy is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about not being about what color you are, but what person you are. And that's why the comedy is so good, is because people are able to riff and joke around and not have people get hurt and have their feelings hurt. More so, it's where people are able to just express themselves, and that's why I like it. Yeah, it is extreme. Yeah, it is this or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, it's comedy. Like, that's why we like the Dave Chappelle's, the George Carlins, there's so many. There's so many. I'm not big into comedy, but I do admire the fact that this is a thing. That's why I like Tony Hinchcliffe's show. That's why I like the fact that he lets people go up. And it says right here that they have a minute. It's a whole minute, right? And I've already made videos on them a long time ago. So I know a lot about Tony Hinchcliffe and their show and stuff like that. But they have comedians that go up for a minute and they talk and they give their little stand-up, you know what I mean? Their little skit or whatever. And they're trying to, it's kind of like America's Got Talent. Right, but a comedy version, right? And this is the difference, though. The debates, though, with Charlie Kirk, that's all about godly stuff. That's all about laws. That's all about education. That's all about pushing you to think for yourself. That's about pushing you to think about what you really want, to think about how you want America to make life better for you. And people are getting brainwashed. They're getting told these things in schools, and they're listening to their teachers because they're a professor or they've gone to college and all these things. But it's like, just because you went to college and Charlie Kirk has proved it, just because you can go to college, you can go there for 4 years, doesn't mean you're smart. The thing about Charlie Kirk is he said that you don't need to go to college. All you need to do is you need to imply, you need to soak in, and you need to take in knowledge. You need to read books. You need to read. You need to you need to just learn words, how to do punctuations, how to talk. You know what I mean? There's things that people just don't learn, or maybe they just can't because maybe of certain genetics or something like that, which I do understand. But at the same time, it's like, we just need to better ourselves. We need to figure out what's the truth, because that's what Charlie was here for, is finding the truth. That's the thing. That's the big difference between the comedy and the debates. The debates, yeah, sure, you're trying to find the truth, but that's just joking around. That's just messing around. But Charlie Kirk was more real. He was more authentic. He was more like, hey, I'm in your face. I don't care what you got to say to me, but I got a lot of stuff to say to you. And that people didn't like that. People took his opinions as him attacking them, when really he's just trying to open up their mind. He's trying to open up their mind and make them think for themselves. And that's why I like that. You know what I mean? And the one thing is with Charlie Kirk stuff, right? He was aggressive, fast-talking rhetoric with gotcha questions, interruptions to expose perceived liberal inconsistencies, hyper-masculine debate bro vibe, drawing from the manosphere, focuses on facts, faith, cultural critique, etc. So it's so similar, but it's also so different at the same time. And this is the comedy show where you insult, you roast with dark, provocative humor, targeting this. Hinchcliffe's delivering is quick-witted, sarcastic, and unapologetic. Like, see, like, that's the thing though. Like, if you can't joke around, if we're living in this black and white, society where if I say one thing, you don't like it, you want to cancel me, right? Tony Hinchcliffe lived and performed and had his show during the whole entire cancel culture, right? He survived it. Why is that? Because his show is good. People like his show. People like his personality. Same with Charlie Kirk. People liked his personality. People liked who he was. People liked what he spoke about. People liked what he was about. Some people may disagree. Some people may agree, which I do admit. There are some things that I disagree with Charlie, and some things I do agree with Charlie. And there's things that I agree with Tony Hinchcliffe, and there's things I disagree. It's just like they're both similar there, but they both different too at the same time, because like I said, Tony Hinchcliffe is more extreme. It's more like out there, boom, 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 jokey, make fun of each other, blah, blah, blah. And then Charlie Kirk's over here trying to expose the truth, trying to be truthful, trying to be honest. It's like, it's so wild how similar they were, but so different because of obviously the message, right? So here's another thing too. Massive amount of young men, 81% of males per young YouGov data on similar Rogan adjacent content who see it as anti-PC rebellion. I don't know what that means. 1.89 million subscribers. Case talk about his subscribers. Also, Tony Hinchcliffe has definitely received backlash for a lot of things. But the funny thing is it's always the media, bro. It's always the media. It's always the media, the ones portraying people being racist or this or that. But at the end of the day, Tony Hinchcliffe is friends with a lot of these people. Like, all the people they're making jokes with, they're all friends and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that's kind of like very interesting to me. And see, the one thing that see, this is where they're both similar too, right? So people say, oh, Tony Hinchcliffe is a racist or this or that, right? But if you think about Charlie Kirk, it says right here, bigoted rhetoric prompted great replacement theory, anti-immigrant / Islamophobic comments, e.g., Islam is the sword that left is using to slit America's throat. And you see, like, because he had his own thoughts. He had his own thoughts on who he believed in, like who he wanted. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't really know too much on the Islamic thing, all these other things, because I'm not too political into that. And I'll be honest with you. But at the same time, I loved his message. I loved how freaking real he was, bro. People don't understand that. People don't understand how real this guy was. The fact that he was out there speaking God, speaking verses, preaching the God, and wanting you to be better for your life, to have kids, to live and get married, to be a husband or a wife, and to have kids, a boy and a girl, or a boy or a girl, or whatever, whatever side of the coin your genetics are and stuff like that, your sperm count and all that stuff. Like, this is very interesting. And the thing is too is they're both similar too as well, because they both got weaponized controversies, right? They're both controversies. Like, God, I don't believe in God. God is not real. Why would God? I'm an atheist. God is not real. Then you got this side of the coin, the weaponizing the controversy of, oh, why would we want to judge each other and talk about each other so bad? Because this is the Tony Hinchcliffe side, right? Because he does jokes, he does comedy, right? So, oh, why would you want to sit here and joke around and do all these things? You're just talking bad about each other. You're putting them in the spotlight. And that's the one thing too, is Tony Hinchcliffe and Charlie Kirk, they're both putting you in the spotlight. But the thing is no one's forcing you. No one is forcing you. When you go to the comedy show, you have to sign up. When you go to the debate for Charlie Kirk, you have to sign up, right? They're both similar, but they're both different too. They're both really different. They're really different too as well. They're so similar, but they're so different. But it's the format. It's the format. That's the reason why these guys were successful, because of the format. That is why, because they gave people a voice. People want a voice. People want to be able to talk about their thoughts and give their thoughts. And that's why the comedy thing is so good, because people may not be good at talking to people or this or that, but they're good at telling jokes. There are people that are bad at telling jokes, but good at telling the truth, right? It's like the same thing as rapping. Like, not everyone can rap on a freestyle, but a lot of people can write a freestyle and rap it, right? Or write a verse or a song, whatever, and then freestyle and then rap it or whatever, right? So it's like the same thing, right? And at the same time, Hinchcliffe shows are chaotic laugh riot, yeah, and also the Charlie Kirk stuff. It's more of a hand clap. Hooray! We got a guy that's speaking the truth, speaking about God and all this stuff. So it's like both sides of the coin. That's why they're so different, because one side's a little darker, one side's a little lighter, right? We all know that. We know about Charlie Kirk, right? And I'm not saying Tony Hinchcliffe's a bad person. I'm just saying that he has a different kind of personality, but they both have good personalities. That's another thing too, is they both got good personalities. So it says right here, Hinchcliffe shows are a chaotic riot for those who crave unbridled roasts, turning offense into entertainment. So instead of being offensive, you're being entertained. It's like watching a horror show, right? When you watch a horror show, what do you expect the movie to be? You expect it to be a horror, right? You're not gonna sit here, and some people find horror entertaining, funny enough. But at the same time, it's like different genres of movie. It's like, like you expect something, and that's what you expect is when you go to a comedy show, you expect people to get roasted. You expect people to get belittled. You expect people to get made fun of. It's like, it's so crazy that people are hating on his show too. That's another thing too. People hate on Tony Hinchcliffe's show a lot. But so unbridled roast turning offense into entertainment, much like demolition derby of jokes, right? It's like it's like the demolition derby of jokes. It's crashing everywhere. It's crash outs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Kirk's debates, however, feel more like a gladiator kind of arena for ideas, where the goal is rhetorical takedowns to rally the base. Both have supercharged right-wing media by embracing pro-vaccination, but Hinchcliffe entertains the outrage while Kirk ideologically exploits it. If you're in the anti-woke crowd, they're complimentary escapes. For critics, they're exhibits in the polarization exhibit. Recent X-Chatter calls for Hinchcliffe to replace Kimmel, which is funny. So by the way, Jimmy Kimmel got canceled. And you want to know what's so funny too? You want to know what's so funny about the cancel culture and all these things? You got a lot of media people saying, do you guys realize that this is bad for Jimmy Kimmel because you guys were all against the cancel culture Obama's talking about, or all these media outlets? They're all saying how, like, you guys were all against cancel culture, yet you're canceling Jimmy Kimmel, right? But at the same time, it's like someone just got K'd. You know what I mean? They're not here no more. Why is that something to joke about? Why is that so funny? You know what I mean? And at the same time, I think it's funny because they wanted to cancel Donald Trump, and they did. They deplatformed Donald Trump off of Twitter, and then Elon Musk bought it, and then also Alex Jones too. Alex Jones got deplatformed, and a lot of other people got deplatformed. You know what I mean? And it's so funny how, when a lot of these leftists, a lot of these Democrats and stuff like that, they sit here and say, oh, well, I thought you guys were against cancel culture. Well, guess what? The cancel culture's happening to you. Now, how does it feel? How does it feel to happen to you? Now you know how it feels, right? But at the same time, it's crazy to me that Jimmy Kimmel would say those things about someone, someone that's godly, just because they disagree. Like, come on, bro. You can't, like, and at the same time, and this is funny too, because we're talking about Tony Hinchcliffe, right? We're talking about jokes and all these things, but it's too soon to talk about this. Sure, if you want to joke about it, do it like a month or two from now. Like, why in the same like couple weeks? You know what I mean? It just happened. Everyone's sad. No one wants to hear that. You know what I mean? No one wants to hear that. You know what I mean? Sure, comedy's a thing, and I admire comedy because people are able to express themselves. But at the same time, like, this just happened. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people hurting. There's a lot of people crying. There's a lot of people sobbing. There's a lot of people watching all these videos of Charlie Kirk because they can't believe it. They can't believe it. They can't believe it. Every single day they sit here, they're like, why? Why him? it's funny because it's also crazy because Charlie Kirk actually predicted that this was going to happen to him. He knew this was going to happen to him. He felt like this was going to happen to him because and it's crazy too, is if you think about it, the last person to get taken out was like what, Martin Luther King or like JFK or like JFK's like brother or something like that. Long story short, it's been like 20 years since Donald Trump almost got taken out. He got hit in the ear. Someone else behind him got hit after that, right? That's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? Donald Trump would have been the next person. And that's the one thing I fear. I fear for Donald Trump. I fear for Joe Rogan. I fear for Elon Musk. And I fear for anyone that speaks outside of the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like people that are real. The people that are real, the people that are fighting against everything that's going on right now, I fear for their life. I fear for Alex Jones. I fear for a lot of these people. And do you remember the Alex Jones guy, the guy that got taken out? I think this was a part of it, bro. I think that was a part of it. That's my theory too, by the way. If anyone knows who Alex Jones is, his friend got taken out. Not the guy that left. Not the guy that left and departed from it. Sorry, I'm burping. But if you remember, Alex Jones had a media dude, a dude that worked for him, and he got K'd, right? He got K'd. He's gone. And I think that was a part of this. I think what happened to that is the same thing that happened to Charlie Kirk and the same thing that was supposed to happen to Donald Trump. And I think this is scary, bro. This is scary thinking that like it's gonna happen more. People like it's scary. It's really scary, and I'm sorry I don't have the words to put into this, but it's scary to me. It's scary that the internet is going the way it is, the way people are acting towards each other. And we're ending this too, by the way. We're ending this video, but hopefully you understand the comparison between the comedy and the debates. Like Charlie and Tony Hinchcliffe are so similar. And this is a part 2, by the way. This is part 2 of the first part. And I decided to make like a little like, why are they not the same? You know what I mean? And there's definitely like differences. There's definitely differences. You know what I mean? Obviously, one is more darker, one's more lighter, one's more of like making fun of the truth and all these other things, and one's more about speaking the truth and wanting to push out the truth and wanting to talk about brainwashing and all these things, right? But at the same time, I'm gonna end my screen recording here. But we're gonna end this video here in a second. But I just want to say that I really hope that a lot of things that I'm seeing online, I really hope we're not on the ball, because the Bill Gates stuff, all these things talking about Charlie Kirk, just a lot of news, a lot of people, and also, yeah, what I was talking about is the Alex Jones stuff. I really do think that was a part of it. All of that is connected to each other. And there's also another, I do want to talk about it, but I don't want to mention the name, but there's a streamer, a very popular streamer too, by the way, a very, very popular streamer. And there's actually a few other streamers too as well that are spreading a lot of misinformation. They're saying things that I just don't understand why they would say. Especially with like Charlie Kirk, man. Like people think Charlie Kirk went out here to take people out, like to take their lives or something like that. Not really. He was just a guy to speak his opinion. Same thing with Tony Hinchcliffe. He was a guy that had jokes and he wanted to speak his opinion. But overall, I feel like I'm getting off track. I just wanted to make this video a second part. And I just, I want to express my feelings, man. I'm tired of being a damn NPC sitting here and not saying anything, but I want to say something. You know what I mean? There's a lot of crappy people out there. There's a lot of crappy things getting said. There's a lot of crappy, it's everything. And obviously that's not relevant to this video a little, kind of somewhat. But at the same time, I'm just trying to put my voice out there. And I appreciate all the people that have watched this video. Again, the comparison, before I go, Charlie Kirk debated truth. He wanted to have people give their minds and speak their minds, and it wasn't forced. It was not forced. They were there, they sign up or whatever, and they get picked, and they come out, and they talk to them, they give them a couple things. And I recommend, I'm going to have Tony Hinchcliffe's channel down below and Charlie Kirk's channel down below. Watch Tony Hinchcliffe's his comedy show, watch that, and then watch a Charlie Kirk full-on debate, an actual long video of Charlie Kirk, it was like an hour 30 minutes long video. Watch both those videos and come back and comment. I'm telling you, bro, they are so similar, but they're so different, but they are more so similar. But at the same time, I just wanted to like add a why are they not so similar kind of thing. And this is a part 2. But anyways, though, my name is A1 Solution. That is me. We out here busting fuego, following the truth. Here I am. I'm right here. That is me. A1 Solution. The A means Anthony. The 1 means one person. A1 means everyone. And the solution is all that coming together. This is called the circle of life. And we are him. We are Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk, and I'm always going to be following through with that. And thanks to him, I'm following God more than ever, Jesus more than ever, and following my heart more than ever. Sure, I may not be perfect. Sure, I may cuss. Sure, I may have some flaws. But at the same time, I'm bettering myself every single freaking day. I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm better than I was a month ago. I'm better than when I was 4 months ago. I'm better than when I was 6 months ago. I'm better than when I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm getting better, and I'm improving, and I want to learn, and I want to improve, and I want to expand, and I want to grow, and I want to be better. I want to be better. Me. Anyways, though, have a great day. Goodbye.